So guys, today's video I'm going to be talking about some of the study abroad opportunities. But first of all, if you are new to this YouTube channel, my name is Milton Fonkwa. On this YouTube channel, I do talk about study abroad opportunities and travel abroad opportunities as well, alright? So if this is your first time, please consider subscribing, alright? Hit that notification bell and make sure you turn on the bell so that when I post a new video like this one, you would be the first to watch, alright? And if you find my content interesting, please make sure you share to at least 2 people. Thank you so much for understanding. So today's video, I want to talk about 3 countries, alright? I will talk about Canada, I will talk about the United States, and I will talk about the United Kingdom, which is the third one. And the reason I want to talk about these 3 countries is because they are quite interesting when it comes to study abroad opportunities. And I think comparing UK, US, and Canada is a great idea, especially for couples, alright? So this video is basically, I want to talk about which one is best for you to study in as an international student or as a couple, alright? Because there are a lot of people who always ask questions if they can immigrate to Europe, to some of these countries with their husbands, with their wives, alright? So it is important I film this video so that you guys can understand. But hey, like I said before, please, if you are new, do consider subscribing, okay? Thank you so much for understanding. So today's video, Canada, first of all, let me start with Canada. A lot of people don't understand, there are so many differences, alright? But what I usually tell international students is that before you move to a country, try to check if your budget is enough, and if it is, then that is where you should start considering your move. Now, first of all, as a couple, if you intend to study in Canada, you should understand that in Canada, if your child is born in Canada, first of all, your child is going to be a citizen, all right, a Canadian citizen, if your child is born in Canada. So now, if you are a couple and you have enough funds or enough resources and you want to move to Canada, I think it is the best option to do, okay? Because first of all, let's say if you are a master's degree student or a PhD student, the first thing you need to do is you are going to work, all right, while you go to school. Then your husband or your wife is also going to work while he or she goes to school, okay? The person now who is coming under you, let's assume that you as the wife, you get admissions to a university in Canada, maybe the University of Toronto or the University of Saskatchewan or the University of Alberta or the University of Manitoba. You would be going to school and doing part-time jobs as well. Then the dependent, who is your husband, is also going to be working at least 20 hours a week, all right? So that is how it functions in Canada. And if you guys deliver a baby boy or girl, or if you give birth to a child in Canada, the child is automatically a Canadian citizen, okay? So that is what it is. And I am talking about this video because I do receive a lot of messages and emails asking if I can travel with my husband, I can travel with my wife and stuff like that. So this is basically for couples, all right? Or if you intend to get married before you move. So that is what you should understand. Now, the second country which I'm going to talk about is the United Kingdom, which is the UK. In the UK, we all know that all these countries I'm talking about, tuition fee is a little bit expensive. Alright, probably maybe not expensive compared to the way the degrees are, because degrees from Canadian, American, or UK universities are highly recognized around the world. If you have a visa to any of these countries, you can always move in and out of anywhere on earth. Alright, so studying in Canada as a couple, in case you get an admission as a wife and you intend to move with your husband, it is very good. You can move with your husband or your wife, and again, know that you are going to get a visa. The person coming under you, let's assume that the wife get an admission and the wife wants to go move with the husband as well is going to work, okay, in the UK. It is very possible for UK, you can work and go to school while the dependent under you work and also go to school. Remember, I'm talking about couples, okay? Then now, but the only restriction comes in when you guys give birth to a child. Your child born in the UK or your children born in the UK are not UK citizens, alright, if you guys are studying in the UK. Let's assume that you gave birth to one of your children in Nigeria then you move to the UK and give birth to another one, you are the one to decide, all right? Because this time the child is not a UK citizen, but for Canada, it is a UK citizen. I hope you get the point clear, and your husband can work as well. Then you can as well do your own jobs, all right? In as much as it doesn't interfere with your studies, okay? So that is what it looks like in the UK. There are a ton of opportunities found outside here for us internationals, but sometimes there are certain restrictions. But remember, hey, the people coming under you as dependents, let's say your husband, because I'm talking about couples, you have to understand that they also have to satisfy monetary proofs, okay? Because remember, when you are going to a country alone, you have a certain amount of money you need to show the diplomatic mission or the embassy or the consular. But if you are adding someone under you, or you are going to be applying, let's say with your husband, of course your kids, you need to show some money, all right, that is going to cover them up. Let me say, if you were going to be spending £1,000 every month times 1 year, which is around 12,000 or 13,000 pounds or something, which is supposed to be for your proof of funds, you have to now multiply this money again for your husband, and there is a certain proportion for your child as well. So the embassy can as well help you in this case, all right? So do not get it wrong, but you can always move with your spouse to the UK and he will work. Then now, the last country I want to talk about is the United States of America. In the United States of America, there are also a ton of opportunities, but there are also restrictions. You as the international, or let me say you as the person who got the admissions, the wife, all right, I'm just using the wife as an example. If you get an admission as a wife and you intend to move with your husband to the United States, know that your husband, of course, is going to get a visa to the United States because you are having the F1, F2 visa, all right? You are having the studies visa, which is the F2 visa. Your husband as well is going to get a visa to join you, or to come with you, or to move with you to the United States. But the only restriction now in this case is your husband cannot work, all right? In the United States, students cannot work. Let me say students can work, students will work, but dependents under students will not work, all right? In case you apply to move to the US with your husband, know that if your husband is coming to the US, he or she will not be able to work, except your husband or wife, all right? That's why I say he or she. Except the visa status is changed, you have to change the visa status, all right? Else, he will not be able to work, all right? I hope you get the difference. But of course, your children are US citizens. If you give birth, if your child is born in the US, or if your children are born in the US, automatically they are US citizens, okay? But the dependent under you cannot work in the US. So that is some of the things you should know. This also, because I quote before, I remember I quote masters students as internationals, but I think it also accounts or also applies to you, those of you who will be studying PhD. Because some people will always ask, am I going to be, if you are going for PhD in any of these countries, know that the laws remain the same, all right? But for the US, it's not possible. It's not possible for the US, but there are certain things your husband can do as a dependent as well. Like I said, your children will be US citizens, but your husband will not be able to work. And it all depends now on you to decide if you will actually take US, Canada, or the United Kingdom. Because for me, I can't go somewhere that a dependent under me will not be able to work. It's better the dependent will be able to work. The laws can permit the person work, but let the person say, no, I'm not going to work, and you guys organize as a couple. All right, so it all depends on you and what you want to do. Again, you also need to pay attention to the fact that all these countries nowadays, the UK, the United States, and Canada, they also have a tons of opportunities. Now, UK, let me start with the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is given, let me say, residence, or let me say, working contracts. After 2 years, you finish your education as a master's student. You can be given 2 years to work in the UK, and probably maybe you can work for more years, and maybe ending up getting a residence permit, a citizenship. It depends on you. Then the US on its own part, I don't know how many times or how many years you can be given to stay back in the United States, but it's also very good because there are easy jobs to get in the US. If you are in the United States, there are open chances, open opportunities, but also opportunities in all of them, because remember, it is your certificate that matters in this case, and your experiences. Then for Canada is also, in Canada, if you graduate as a master's student, automatically you are given uh, sorry guys, you are going to get what we call a working permit. All right, and of course, if you work in Canada, sometimes probably maybe after 2 years, 3 years, you get your permanent residency. All right, or maybe you get your citizenship. So Canada has this thing, this open job opportunities they call immigration pathways. So it is very easy in Canada compared to the US, like I know, all right, to get permanent residency in Canada. Like I'm talking about Canada now. It's easy to get permanent residency in Canada compared to the US and the UK. But UK, you can always get a job offer, but looking at permanent residency, it is easy in Canada than these three countries. And PhD students stand an upper chance, all right? Because I think if you do PhD in Canada for 4 to 5 years, automatically you can apply for citizenship or something like that, all right? So that is what you need to understand and know, that there are changes, but these changes, I do not know if they actually apply to bachelor's students doing a bachelor's degree, but it applies to those doing master's and PhD programs, okay? So that is what you should understand. But in other videos, I'm going to talk about how the insurance work and so many other job opportunities available in these three places. But for now, this is what you need to understand, all right? I hope the video helps you, and if it does, do not forget to subscribe and support the movement. Very, very important to me, all right? Thank you so much for your help and love. Until we meet again in another one.